Well, seeing as I was 2 years old when Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy premiered in August of 1991, it made sense that me and Nickelodeon would become the first real friends overall. And I would watch it a lot as a kid growing up, and I used to watch a lot of the Nicktoons growing up. So I figure, why not add in some Nickelodeon Christmas episodes to this year's rotation? And let's start off with the ones that I'm most familiar with, the ones that came very early on. If I'm not mistaken, this one is the first one that I remember. If it wasn't the first one aired, it's surely the next one after this. But the Rugrats with the Santa Experience. This is in the second season of the show, airing in December of '92, where you have an episode that starts off with a traumatic Santa visit in the mall, where Angelica basically takes the beard off of the mall Santa and screams out to the kids out there, "Santa Claus is a fake, run for your lives!" And so the parents basically decide, to bring the Christmas spirit back into everyone. Let's go out into a cabin in the mountains for the holiday season. And then, meanwhile, Angelica, starts having nightmares about Santa giving her coal simply because of a story that Grandpa told the kids about if you're good, if you're bad, then you will get a coal for Christmas. And she basically, something happens where she swaps it. She basically takes the toys from both Phil and Lil's in a story that's very similar to something like The Gift of the Magi. The story, of course, where you have a couple who buy presents for one another, but they, in order to get the money to get the presents overall, they have to trade away something from their significant other, not knowing that when they actually give the gifts away, they're giving them the gifts of the thing that the other person sold to them, which brings their love together overall. And it's very much similar thing that happens here in this particular story. But you also have a subplot where Tommy and Chucky are going after Santa because Chucky has a fear of Santa, and Tommy wants to try to capture him to prove that Santa is not a threat whatsoever. And of course leads to chaos with the parents trying to be Santa as well, including Chucky's father and also Stu's brother Drew in the situation here. And you have all these little side stories going on here as well. But those are the three main big ones there. And I gotta say, watching this again, I was actually kind of surprised at how good the animation for this particular season holds up in general here. Like, Season 2, of course, is where they started to get a little bit more of a budget to them overall. Because the first season, overall, the Rugrats was very choppy. But that was kind of the charm of the first couple of seasons of Rugrats. But here, this is the season where you're starting to see that really good animation coming together overall here. And it does lead to a lot of really fun moments all across the board here. Like, I do like that Angelica does at least try to fix her problems overall to the point where she calls like a 500 number where she thinks that she's going to call Santa up at the North Pole, and it turns out I think it is actually, if I'm not mistaken, I could be completely wrong on this, but I think it's kind of like a suicide help hotline. They don't say suicide in it, but, there's a whole part of it where, they say, call this number, and we'll talk to you and figure out what the problem is. And she calls, and it's just this guy working in, like, this dimly lit building where, it's kind of like a psychic hotline thing in a way where, she's basically asking him, I just want to know if I'm on the good list or bad list this year, and this guy has no idea what the hell she's talking about. So she basically, and you think you think at first he's gonna be like, well, okay, let's see, oh, you're on the nice list, but then of course, not in this world. No. In this world, the guy goes like, oh, yeah, you're on the bad list. So thanks for calling. Click. And then she's just like, she just has no idea what she has to do here. But I like those little moments in there. I think it is very good, and it does teach you a little bit of a life lesson overall, even if it has kind of a little bit of a cop out, but a fun little cop out overall. And again, it's a cartoon. You expect you expect reality not to be a major factor in here overall, and it does have a fun little payoff with Angelica's character, where even when she does the right thing, the universe is just kind of like, yeah, you're still Angelica though. So yeah, we got one more little nugget for you at the end of this, if we will, which is the last line of the episode. It's a fun little payoff at the end, but yeah, overall, it's a really good episode. It's about as standard as you can get, but it is fun to watch Angelica trick Phil and Lil and realize that if she doesn't fix things, she ends up with coal for Christmas, and all these other little subplots going on here. Very fun stuff overall. Won't be the last time the Rugrats have a holiday episode. They'll pretty much cover everything from Passover to Kwanzaa, of course, other ones as well, Thanksgiving and all that. But Rugrats, the Santa Experience. Hey, what more can you say?